Hi, everybody. I hope you're having a good day. I was literally just kind of, I don't know, about to take care of something, and I started to think about my book, Don't Give Up. And I remember when I used to come on and I used to read from the book, chapter 4, Butterfly Wings. But tonight I was thinking about chapter 3. And I'm going to tell you the truth. Chapter 3 is one of the chapters I don't usually read from it. But you know what I realized? A lot of people have experienced heartache. And I'm trying to see if I can plug this light in so it'll be a little better. Um, a lot of people have experienced heartache, and that's one of the areas where people are fought. One of the areas where the enemy will try to come in and actually get people to give up and have them question their worth and am I really valuable? Am I really worth it? Am I really strong? Am I really beautiful? Like all these questions start to come up after a person goes through um, a broken relationship. I hope you can hear me. I hope this microphone is up. But it can be tough. And I know for one thing, the one thing that you don't need to do, and I'm going to say this because I did a survey with a group of women. And in that survey, I asked them the question when they went through the most difficult part of the challenge or that journey of heartache, what was the number one thing that they struggled with? And every single one of them, 100%, said isolation. Everybody said isolation. And I thought about that. And I know that they're introverts. I know about being an introvert, right? Believe it or not, that's me, right? Introvert. But if it's okay for me to call myself that, when I think about the Bible, I'm like, Lord, is that okay? But a lot of people like to say, oh, I need to do that sometimes. And then I'm like, mm, isolation and consecration are two different things. And isolation, if you look the dictionary, um, look up what the word means, it really means to quarantine. And we know that quarantining, it just has not been really good. It just hasn't been. When people quarantine, it usually means that they're the one who has the disease. They have something and they need to be separated from people. But when isolating happens, when a person has a broken heart, it's a lot different than quarantining from a disease. As a matter of fact, you need the support. You need to be able to talk to people about how you feel, about the burden that you're feeling. And when you don't do that, sometimes you end up sitting in a space where your mind starts playing things over and over and over again, which is really not helpful. And so it's good to have somebody that you can talk to. And maybe you're like, well, you don't trust people at this moment. Maybe there was some gaslighting that happened. And so people were looking at you kind of like, oh, yeah, it's her fault or it's his fault. And a lot of times, that I do talk to solo moms. I think it's important for me to do so. And so, you know, going through that. So I don't want you to isolate. I want you, even if you have to, because sometimes when you don't know who to trust and you're wondering who can I talk to, who's not going to judge me, who's going to get it, and sometimes they can't get it because they haven't walked in your shoes or cried your tears. And so what you can do is you can get that journal. I was looking to see if my notebook was over here. That's my other stuff. But get something so that you can start to express, to communicate, to take those feelings that are just sitting right inside of your mindset. And at least, even if you can't talk to the person that wounded you, because they may not be ready to hear it, they may not want to hear it, and they may not really care. But you need to be able to get it out. So, what would I want you to do? Excuse me, I'd want you to get a friend. Start writing first, of course, and then ask someone, would it be okay if I talk to you about something that I'm experiencing? And I'm saying this because what happens when you reach out to someone and you pick up your phone and you dial and they don't pick up, it's almost like these feelings, additional feelings of rejection start to come. And you already experienced that rejection with the person who left, departed, decided to go, as they say in business, we're going in a different direction. It's not quite the same, right? And so they decide to move on, and there's rejection there. And then you want to talk to somebody because you're really feeling down in those moments, and you just need to be able to verbalize what it is that's going on in your life. And you just want someone to listen sometimes, right? You don't even really want people to say something back to you at times. You just need someone to listen. And so when that doesn't happen, they don't answer, they don't pick up. It may be because they're doing something else. It's not that you're not important. It just means that the time that you call, maybe who knows what they're doing, right? People are adults. We have to remember that too. So they're busy. They might be busy. And so to look instead and to say, send them a text or something and say, I really need someone to talk to. Um, and I always say, talk to God first. Okay. He's never busy. Never, never, never. But, you can text them and say, do you have some time later on today to talk to me? And then, you know, wait for the response. And if that person says no, then find somebody else. And here's what I want to tell you to do too. Different people are in your life for different things. You've got that friend who will make you laugh. You have that friend who's an awesome listener. You have that friend who's probably a great prayer warrior. You have that person who may sit there with you. Somebody had up a post today and I said, oh, that's the ministry of presence, right? As a chaplain, that's what we did. There were times when people were grieving so hard. We just listened to them. We just sat with them in the midst of their suffering. We didn't really say too much. And as a matter of fact, if it was somebody, loved one transition, there were times when they were standing there and I was with them and I would literally say, may I place my hand on your back, right? I would ask them first, because sometimes when you are grieving so hard, it can startle a person because their thoughts are somewhere else, okay? And so that's what happened. So find out. Who are those people? And I would even say to like write it down or put it, where their name is in your phone, in the contact, because when you're really stressed and going through trauma, sometimes your thoughts, you don't think of things like right away. Your thoughts sometimes, like you may be struggling a little bit with your thoughts. So you put it there, this person, so and so, humorous, my humorous friend, this person, great listener, this person, prayer warrior, this person, and just put it in your phone so that, or on a post-it note, or on something where you can find it. So when you're going through those difficult moments, that's the person that you can reach out to for that particular thing. The other thing is start to ask your friends, hey, what's a good friend to you? What's a good friend? What do you need me to be as your friend? And see if you can do it, because sometimes maybe you can and maybe you can't. Well, I can be this part, but and there's no excuse, you don't have to give an excuse, but I can be this type of friend for you. But it might be a little bit difficult for me to do this right now because maybe you have your own thing that's going on. So those are just some suggestions. I love giving suggestions. So I want to read to you from it's called Are You in the Clear? Chapter 5. Okay. And what does it mean to be in the clear? Maybe you're like, what does that mean? So this is my book, Don't Give Up. It's a bestseller book. I always say your book is a bestseller to the person who reads it and needs it. Yes, on Amazon. But I also put it on PayHip as an audio book. And so it's there. The ebook is there also. And that link is over there in the bio. But the clear is when you believe that people are going to be there for you in a difficult moment of your life, and instead they clear out. They're gone. They're gone. What I discovered in my life, and this is not for everyone, was that God didn't want anyone to take his glory. He knows that mankind